Hello all, welcome back to Editorial Analysis and Answer Writing Practice at 9 p.m. Friends, if you are watching this initiative for the first time, then please watch my introductory video given in the playlist to know how to participate in this answer writing program. It is open to all. Recently, World Bank released its report, World Development Report 2024. In that report, it highlighted that most of the middle income countries, they are not able to come out of that middle income trap. For a long time, they are in that middle income range only. In the last 34 years, only 34 countries, they were able to come out of this middle income condition. More than 100 plus countries, including India, China, we are suffering from this middle income trap. The report was highlighting that one side the income is increasing, but the growth rate is stagnant or it is reducing. So this is the context of today's topic. We will discuss this topic from our exam point of view. The report was giving a comparison. So for example, let's take America's per capita income. Let's say in America, if an individual earns 100 rupees, assume. So per capita is 100 in America. Let's compare with low income countries. Let me take example for India. America's per capita is 100. Assume India's per capita is 1 rupee. Slowly India is growing. 1 became 2 rupees, 3 rupees, 4 rupees, 5 rupees. When India's per capita become 11 rupees, there a trap comes. We are not able to go beyond that 11. So the report was highlighting that when middle income countries reaches 11% of America's per capita, okay, that is why I took the comparison of 100 rupees per capita, and in India the per capita was 1, it was increasing to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. The moment when middle income countries reach 11% of Americans per capita, beyond that we are not able to grow. There is a stagnation, there is a trap. This is what the report was highlighting. Now let's try to understand why middle income countries, they suffer in this trap. So you take the case of India or China, any other middle income country. The biggest problem is once these countries were having an advantage of cheap labor. So the developed nations, they outsourced the labors from countries like India and China. So the product design will happen in California, but the actual product manufacturing will be happening in China, Philippines, India, etc. Because the labor is so cheap. But as time progresses, the per capita income, the income of the individual, income of the labor is increasing. As the income of the labor increases, the product manufacturing becomes costlier. So the developed nations, they are shifting their base. Instead of manufacturing in China, instead of manufacturing in Philippines or India, they are shifting it to relatively poorer countries because there the labor is cheaper. So one side in countries like India, as income increases, the labor cost increases, the developed nations, they shift their manufacturing base from these middle income countries. Right. So if you take the case of India, we are not a strong manufacturing country. Now this outsourcing was creating an opportunity in India. We were able to grow. When that outsourcing opportunity is getting reduced, we are getting trapped. We are not able to cross the growth which we can achieve. Apart from that, inherently developed countries have very good technology. Developing countries, middle income countries like India, technological advantage is relatively less. For example, from internal combustion engine, we are moving towards electric vehicles. The world is moving towards hydrogen vehicles. Now the world is thinking about water-based vehicles, water-based transport, water-based engines. Right, developed countries, they are becoming far superior in technology and they are able to make more strides in technology-based, innovation-based products. But countries like India, technology-based creative products in India is relatively less, so we are not able to take that advantage as well. Right, so cheap labor advantage we have missed. We are not having good innovative products. Manufacturing base is relatively less. In general, today technologies are developing in a very fast manner. Right, we are seeing disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence, which is very, very disruptive in nature. So India has the advantage of this demography. We have a lot of youth force, but if they are not having sufficient skills, new age skills, then that demography advantage will become a liability. So we are not having the new age skills which is required. So access to skills, access to technological based education, innovation that we are lacking. Apart from that, India is a consumption based economy. That means in India, we people, we consume, we create demand. That demand results in more production. That more production improves the GDP. Right? But today, as I said, we are consumption driven economy, but there is a huge inequality prevailing, social inequality that results in income inequality. Because of this income inequality, people who are earning more is relatively less. People who are earning more, they will be buying costlier products, innovative products, new products. The consumer base to consume relatively costlier products or relatively high value products is less in India. So because of this also, for the high value products, for the technological products, for the innovative products, we are not able to have a bigger consumer base. That is also hindering our GDP growth. These are the problems. So how to overcome this? World Bank itself is giving a suggestion. World Bank suggests 3I approach, that is investment, infusion, innovation. The middle income countries, they have to invest more either on their own or they have to bring in private participation, facilitate foreign direct investments, bring in investments. Second thing is infusion of technology. Again, developed countries, they are becoming faster in adaptation of new technologies. So we should also ensure that somehow we are partnering, we are having some technological collaboration, or we spend in R&D and we are able to bring in technology, we are able to infuse technology in all our products. Right? Today, how many of us are buying regular watches? Most of us, we want a smartwatch. Right? Why we are thinking of a smartwatch? Why we are thinking of a smartphone? Because technology, when we have a technological advantage in a product, that is what is most sought after. Right? If I have a watch, if that watch is going to show me only time, it will be a single utility device. Today, the demand for such single utility device is relatively less. So if I am going to start manufacturing regular watches, there will be no demand. So I need a watch where technology is infused. So investment, infusion of technology and innovation. Always we cannot depend on other countries. We have to innovate in our soil. Only when we can innovate in our soil, the world is going to consume from our country. Our exports will increase. So we have to focus on 3I. Investment, infusion and innovation. Apart from that, we have highlighted the challenges, right? We have to ensure skills, education, spending money on R&D, reducing the income inequality. All those something which we have to do. Apart from that, take country like India, we have a very good advantage in services. So we have to focus on high value services. We have to focus on high value services. Manufacturing, we have to agree that at least as of today, we are not having a great advantage. But in manufacturing, certain areas, there are some certain specific areas where we can have comparative advantage in manufacturing. Those areas we have to focus more. So for example, with the help of production linked incentive scheme in electronics and semiconductor manufacturing, we are trying to boost, we are trying to increase some advantage. So identify the areas where there is advantage, exploit it maximum. All right. So India should focus on this area. Apart from that, we will also try to bring in the global best practices. Take South Korea, for instance. South Korean government, they decided to support, extend technological support, extend financial support to only those private players who are performing. Only those private players who are performing, who are innovating, who are coming up with products which has export potential, only for those, the government will extend support. For those non-performing private players, government will not support. Government has taken a clear stand in South Korea that for failing companies, South Korean government will not support. Maybe India should consider such option. Yes, we definitely agree India is a welfare country. We have to help everyone. But at certain places, we have to take a stricter stance. Right? By supporting the non-performing companies, we should not pull the performing companies. Right? So performing companies should not be compromised at the cost of non-performing companies. So Indian government should also actually think about supporting performing companies and allow the non-performing companies to die. This is just a suggestion. You can have your own opinion. Okay. Everything what I say is not my opinion. Whatever discussed in newspaper, I am sharing it here. Friends, we are in a serious state. One side, developed countries, they innovate, they come up with disruptive technologies, they make huge advantage and they are prospering, right? They are growing very well. Another side, poorer countries, because of their cheap availability of labor, they are hijacking the opportunity which India was getting, China was getting, right? So one side, developed countries, they are growing well. Another side, poorer countries, they are hijacking our advantages. So it's high time that India is focusing on this problem. India should address the above discussed challenges. See, South Korea is also a middle income country, but because of such decisions taken, now South Korea was able to effectively come out of that middle income trap. So India also should take this problem seriously and address the problem so that we do not suffer from this trap and we are able to come out of this trap and we are able to improve our income levels and GDP growth. So yes, right friends, I hope you got clarity on the topic which we discussed now. I will give you a question based on our discussion. India, along with several other developing nations, is facing what the World Bank defines as the middle income trap. What steps can India take to overcome this hurdle and move towards high income status? It will be a 10 marker question, so plan your answer for 150 words. Right friends, tomorrow I will see you with another interesting editorial topic. Till then, bye, take care.